Carried. Thank you. Move to item 13, unlucky for some, and it's the reserve revocation, and it's and Councillor Simpson has moved, and I'll take my name off and put Councillor Walker to second, and just want to welcome Perez and Letitia. So look, hand it over to you both, and as per normal, we'll then move into questions and then comments. Thank you.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Perez Abdullah Tako Ingoa. So I'll quickly give a brief overview of the report. In 2018, the Orake Local Board resolved to redevelop the underperforming community centre, the Meadowbank Community Centre, by way of service property optimization. We have subsequently progressed negotiations to sell the air rights and a portion of the residual land to fund the redevelopment of the community centre. We have subsequently found that the 29 to 31 St. John's Road is subject to an unclassified local purpose reserve. And in order for us to implement the resolution of the local board, we request that or seek authorization that the reserve status be revoked. And it's important to note, and it's in the report, that we are seeking the authorization to sell the air rights above the community centre and a residual portion of the land. We are not selling the community centre itself. So Auckland Council will still retain ownership of the new community centre, and it will be registered on the title that it will be held for a public work under the Public Works Act. Thank you.
Thank you, Letitia. Anything from you?
Nothing further, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. I'll open up for questions first and then for comments. Questions, it appears none. Comments? Councillor Simpson.
Colleagues, if you've ever looked at an LTP and seen your project in year 8, I know how you feel. This project has been on the LTP, books, for want of a better word, since the first term of Auckland Council when I was a local board chair. And I didn't want to correct you, but the resolution was from 2017, but it's actually been for optimisation, but it's actually been something that the local board has been advocating ever since Auckland Council has been in existence. I hate to say this, in my words, I'll say it's an admin error, that it was never completed properly, the reserve classification process was never completed, but it's just a little admin error that needs to be fixed up so the thing can get on and get built and done. It's a great model. As they've said, we own the land, we'll own the community centre, we'll sell the rights above it, and it'll hopefully be a cost-ish, neutral-ish sort of deal. So I don't think there's a lot of complication around it. It's a really good thing to do. We need to get on with it, and it's been a long time coming. Thank you for your support in advance.
Thank you, Councillor Simpson. And look, my apologies. I should have asked both of you to sort of, because so then at least we know that people aren't attacking you individually. No, that's what I mean. Verbally, but not in that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, so that's right. But thank you to you both. Councillor Walker, to close, I'm assuming, because there's nobody else for comment.
So I just want to make a comment, and I acknowledge the comments that Leslie Simpson made. And on my part, an observation, I would suggest that there are a number of locations around Auckland where we may own some land. We don't necessarily have to sell the land, but we can enter into this kind of arrangement. And in my opinion, some of our asset sales will lead us into a position where we won't have these options in the future, and they are valuable. So I think
Great idea, isn't it?
it's a great idea, but I think it's a useful example, and we shouldn't forget it because it applies elsewhere.
Thank you. Yeah, you're both finished? Yeah, thank you. Okay then, I'll put the recommendation. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against?
Aye.
Carried. Next item is item 14, it's will be moved by Deputy Mayor and myself, and we'll just wait for our staff to come up. And if our staff could introduce themselves, so it's been moved and seconded and it's just been put on the table for discussion. Tēnā koutou.
Talofa lava, I'm Moira. I'm Portfolio Research Analyst from Eke Pānuku. And these are my colleagues.
Ngā mihi o te ahiahi. I'm Carl May. I'm a portfolio specialist at Eke Panuku.
And kia ora, I'm Letitia Edwards. I'm Head of Strategic Asset Optimisation at Eke Panuku.
So, look, yep, if you've just got anything to add to it, because I know you've read the report, it's up to you. Moira?
So I've prepared something and I'm just going to read off of it if that's okay. So the Franklin Local Board approved the sale of 39R in Potakawa Road and 17W Hawke Crescent by way of service property optimisation in March 2019. So optimisation by way of direct reinvestment will enable the Franklin Local Board to use the proceeds from the disposal of the sites to reinvest into an eligible local project of its choosing. Both properties are subject to the Reserves Act 1977, and Eke Pānuku subsequently undertook the reserve revocation process for the two properties. So we received 7 submissions, including 6 objections for the property at 39 Awahutakawa Road, and we received 2 submissions and no objections were received for 17W Hawke Crescent. Eke Pānuku now seeks approval from the PACE Committee to recommend to the Minister of Conservation that the reserve status over each of the 2 properties be uplifted to enable the Franklin Local Board's request to optimise these properties to be progressed. Thank you.
Whawhitai lava, Moira. So I'm just going to open up for questions. There appears to be none, which is a good thing. So thank you for the report. And if I could ask the whole 3 of you to move back so then we can then debate it and everything else. So thank you so much. Comments? No comments? I'll then put the recommendation. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Gee, that was good. That was good. 15, and Papakura Senior Citizens Hall. Councillor Dalton has moved this and Councillor Newman online has seconded.
Yes, thank you, Chair.
Yeah, and so it's put on the table for discussion. Nicola, all yours.
Kia ora koutou. I'm Nicola Terry, Acting Head of Service and Asset Planning in Regional Service Planning Investments and Partnerships. So this report considers that Papakura Senior Citizens Club own the hall and land at 8 East Street in Papakura, and they wound up in December 2020. Under the terms of their deed of incorporation, they will transfer their assets to Auckland Council. However, Auckland Council is not obliged to accept the transfer of assets. If we do accept them, they need to be used to benefit older people in Papakura and the surrounding areas. So we considered 3 options. And our recommended option is to decline the transfer of assets because we don't have an identified need for additional hall space or venue for hire space in Papakura. The hall is not in good condition and we don't have any funding available to bring that hall up to standard, which is around $400,000, or for the ongoing renewals and operating expenditure. So there is support for the Papakura senior citizens to distribute the proceeds of sale to other charitable groups that benefit older people. Papakura Local Board considered this item at their meeting on the 28th of April and recommend to PACE Committee to decline the transfer of assets, and Councillors Dalton and Newman were present at the meeting and heard that discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicola. Questions first for Nicola? No, there you go. Comprehensive and understood. So thank you, Nicola. And any Comments? Nothing online? Nothing in the room? So it's been moved and seconded. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried. Nicola, thank you so much. Item 16. And I'll move that. Councillor Casey and Councillor Darby moved and seconded. No discussion. I'll put the recommendation. All those in favour? Against?
Aye.
Carried. Consideration of extraordinary. There is none. Thank you so much, peeps, after the start. But I just want to acknowledge everybody that's still here. And again, just with your patience around our advisory panels, but it was important after comments I ended up getting from some of the advisory panels just saying, look, thank you for listening to us. So look, I just wanted to acknowledge everybody here and those that were here earlier and online. So again, awesome. Thank you so much. And yeah, the 4-3. Yes, thank you. See ya. Thank you.
Thanks, Alfie. You're a good chair.